In my view, this was yet another major Apple event where essentially nothing major happened. And I'm saying that less as criticism as an observation. We did not get a major new product. This is an event where I think new iPhones have been unveiled for the first time, for example, and so